wonder what's doing. Oh, it's lost the signal again. I wonder if this building's preventing. Let me see here. Okay, so. Ooh. Oh God. Shit. No. Okay. Building is interfering with the visual of the GPS for some reason. I don't know why. Nearly lost the drone there. Huh. Good, definitely a good representation on obstacle avoidance though. Managed to fly up and through that building with zero visual on me. All right, let's figure this sucker out. Okay, so that was a little bit scary on that first test of the skateboard in that kind of alley that I was in with the building real close. So it seemed like it was maybe interrupting a signal, and that's why I was losing visual and it was going straight to the GPS. Now the thing with the GPS on the beacon is it'll track the GPS signal, but that doesn't give you a visual. So it kind of gets the signal, but it doesn't know exactly where you're at. So it'll still track the beacon, but you might be out of frame. The good thing about that test was we saw the obstacle avoidance was really good because it flew into that little passageway and just kind of hovered there. Scary thing was that because I'm not familiar with the drone, I wasn't really familiar with the steering, the manual steering that you can do from this. So I just kind of jumped the railing and hit land, and thankfully it landed in my hands. But so we've come out to this field. I've come out to this field where there's obviously a lot less obstacles and more space and time for me to figure out these controls, and that way we can, all right, that way, bang, it's GPS tracking, looking for me, bang, it's got the visual on me. All right, cool. So that way we can kind of test all these controls with less pressure. What I've noticed is with motion track, let me tap on myself and see if that happens. With motion track and the visual, I'm having a strong signal. When I put it in fixed track, sometimes it loses me on the visual side of things, and reverts back to the GPS, and then sometimes, and because of that, it's not quite sure exactly where I'm at. So I have to then go back into the steering mode and manually bring the drone out using the steering mechanism on this. So today's test is mainly using this beacon because I'm going to be using this drone predominantly with my motorcycle rides. So, but if need be, you can actually control it as well from your phone. You don't get as much range from your phone, but let's get this thing in front of me. You don't get as much range when using it with your phone. You get a much better range and signal, obviously, using the beacon. Now, what's happened is my phone is actually connected to the beacon. It's Wi-Fi, and then the beacon is connected to the drone, and that's what's transmitting the signal. But anyway, let's get some tests in. we'll see. We're gonna run. I'm gonna run. It's gonna put me through my paces a little bit, and then we'll see if we can get into kind of what things occur and how we get out of it and so forth. So, all right, I don't know why. There we go. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, it knows that this is my front right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn around rapidly and I'm gonna run the other way, and let's see how quickly it adjusts to getting in front of me. All right, let's go, bang. Let's go, let's see, come on. Let's go. All right, and there it goes. It's finding me, bang, it's in front of me. All right, cool. Now technically that drone's going way back. Stop, one more time. I'm gonna turn it around real quick, run the other way. In fact, as it's coming in front of me, I wanna change angle to the left. Let's see. All right, pretty badass. All right. So that's the thing. Motion track, having good response with motion track. It's the fixed track, which I actually think would maybe be a better situation while on my bike, because if I fix it to be behind me or fix it to be in front of me, that way it'll adjust accordingly. But I'm a little bit hesitant because there's now twice that I've lost a visual, or the drone's lost a visual on me while in fixed track, and then it has to obviously rely on the GPS signal. And that's what kind of, you know, if I'm riding on my bike, you know, who knows where it might get itself caught up. So if anybody has this drone and has a similar experience when they use fixed track, and they're losing, the drone is losing a visual on them, and then it's bouncing straight back to the GPS signal. Let me know if you've experienced anything like that. All right. What I'll do is when we get to the end of this field over here, I will change into fixed track. Now the thing with fixed track is whatever angle I position the drone in, that's what it'll stay fixed at. So that's going to be the fixed angle. All right, so let's go. You can see this over here. I'm going to go over to, where am I going? There we go, fixed track. Select. All right, so that's the angle. So that's not relative, like that's not front, that's not forward, back, and side. That's the angle that you're sending the fixed track in to remain in. So now hence, if I turn around, I'm on my motorcycle. Now technically the drone should constantly stay behind me, and let's run and see what happens. I wonder if, let me see. Okay, so there's no issue at all. Now again, like I said, I've just fixed the drone in that position, and what it'll do is it'll stay in that position, but obviously if obstacles be coming forward in its way, in fact, let's do that. I'm gonna walk past this basketball hoop over here, and so no matter, even though I've told it to stay in that position, and I'm gonna go this direction, no matter what obstacles are in the way, it should avoid them. So under this hoop, and sees the hoop, moves out the way. Cool. All right. Still got a visual on me. Yep. All right, let's do the same thing. I'm I'm gonna walk towards it, which it'll stay in that angle. Let's walk towards that hoop. And let's see. Okay, it's directly in front of that hoop now. Sees it. Up it goes and over. All right, cool. So that avoidance worked. Now, what I do know about it is the thing that it doesn't like is thin wires and extremely thin branches. I wonder why. Let's do that test again. I want to see if I'm moving at a decent pace towards this hoop, how quickly it adjusts over it. All right, cool. I'm gonna do the same thing going back. Let's go, move a little bit. Okay, so now, directly, it's got visual, directly, and I'm gonna move pretty quickly towards that hoop. Let's see what happens. All right, come on, sucker, don't let me down. All right. All right, so cool. It'll adjust obstacles according to how quick you are moving. All right, so like I said before, I had an issue with the fixed track losing visual and then linking into the GPS. So what I'm gonna do is, just kind of casually walking, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a quick left run. I'm gonna turn left and run as fast as I can, not fast as I can, but quick out of the visual of it, and let's see if it keeps up. All right, 1, 2, 3, tricky now, John. All right, that time, no issue. Visual. All right, let's do the same kind of thing. I'll turn right, and try and take off them out of the visual of it. Let's see. All right, it's keeping up that time. Still got visual. All right, what I'll do is take a left, and then I'll zigzag straight, and then take a right. And let's see. All right. Turning a left, bang. Left again, take a right. See if I can throw off the visual a bit. No issues that time either. All right. So this time, everything was a success using fixed track. So like I said, if anybody has this drone and has had issues using fixed track and losing a visual on yourself, and then it linking back into just using the GPS on the beacon, if anybody understands that, please write me down below. Let me know if there's anything I should look out for or whatever. All right, so, I'm a little bit unfit. All right, let's go through these other controls real quick while I have you here. All right, orbit. All right, let's go a little bit more into the middle of the field. And what it's supposed to do is, even though I'm moving, so even if I'm moving, it's supposed to keep a constant orbit around me while I move. So you don't have to stay stationary in order for this quick move to work. All right, let's check it out. So even though I'm moving, it should keep an equal distance orbit the entire time on my trajectory. So that's pretty rad. If you're in an open field, if you're riding through an open field and you want to kind of circle the entire view of what you're riding through, it's a pretty badass feature. Check this out. It's constantly keeping an orbit, hands free, so bang bang, you're riding. If I'm in an open plane, and I can just ride and let this thing orbit around the bike as I'm passing through the scenery. Very cool. I like it. All right, cool. Let's get out of this. That's orbit. Let's see, what is this? Hover. Okay, so this was another thing I could have done when it lost visual on me. I could have immediately gone into hover mode, puts it into a hover mode, still has obstacle avoidance while in hover mode, still keeping a visual on me, and that way I could have kind of gone to it, especially if I was in a tight place, maybe too tight for me to use the driving mode to get it out of there. I could have just put hover until I was able to get to it, and then figured out the best way to drive it out of there. And then steering mode, I'll show you what that is. Basic operation, SkyDio button, moving the drone forward. There's no backwards, so turn it. I want to go away from me, or actually just manually fly this drone forward. There it goes away from me. Now turn it the other way, forward that way. There it goes. So you can actually just fly the drone straight off the beacon, completely manually as well. Like I said, it's good for if you're in a tight spot, caught up in some trees or something, and you need to get it out of there. Or if it's in that lock in that GPS system and it doesn't quite have a visual on it, you can manually change it around to catch that visual on you. The minus and plus, that can manually lower the altitude of the drone, raise it up. Very cool. All right, let's see what else we got. What is this? Okay, return options. Okay, so if I lose a visual on the drone or whatever, let's see what this is. Return to beacon. What is this? Return to launch. So okay, cool. So if I return it to the beacon, no matter where I'm at, it's going to find the beacon and come return to that. So if I've moved on and I need to get that drone back, it'll pick up the GPS of the beacon and get there. If where I launched it from, so if it's better for me to return the drone exactly where I launched it from, or home, if I'd set a home point. I'm not sure if I set a home point or not, but anyway, that's pretty cool to know. Let's get back out of here. And then the last feature is, I'm gonna do this. Steering, I'm gonna bring this thing down. And then there's a fast droney option. Let's see, forward. There's a fast droney option, which if you're familiar with DJI drones, drone is kind of like, it'll be hold on, let's get this here. So droney, what it'll do is, usually you're on yourself, you hit droney and it kind of goes away at a diagonal away from you. So let's hit that. So it's usually a double tap on the SkyDio button. I didn't see that. Hold on a second. Let's try that again. Let me see. Oh, so that's how you set home point. Okay, no. Huh. How do I? Droney, come on. Let me see if I go motion track. All right, let's select motion track. And now if I hit the quick droney option, let's see. There we go, okay. And off it goes. Pretty far. Man, I'm way down here. All right, so man, that's a big droney. I need to go in and calibrate the distance on how far that droney goes, but that's pretty awesome. So I guess if I'm in fixed track or if I'm in motion track, double tap SkyDio button, and that's the automatic droney. Now that I'm at 15%, yep. All right, so once to land, let's go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into manual steering, and I'm just gonna hit, no, you know what, I'm gonna go into hover. I'm gonna go into hover, let me see. Yep, hover, I'm gonna walk around it, and then I'm gonna hit land, and it's become such an easy drone. It's become such an easy drone to catch in your hand. And bang. All right, first real test for the SkyDio. It's a wrap. Started off a little bit scary on the skateboard in that alleyway. I don't know if it had something to do with, maybe it was cloudy and I didn't have good visual, or it was interfering with the camera was having a hard time in getting a visual lock on me, or like I said, even when I was out here today, before I started filming and I had it on fixed track, it lost the visual of me and then relied obviously on the GPS from the beacon. So again, like I said, if anybody's experienced that as well, maybe while they're riding, it has this drone while they're riding, if they're using fixed track and having an issue with the drone perhaps losing its visual lock on you, let me know. Other than that, I'm happy so far. We'll have to, I'm gonna do the skateboard test again before I get out on the bike in a more open area as well, so kind of get into and that way I can test everything I did today while I was running on the skateboard, and then from there I'll move the test onto while I'm riding my motorcycle, either my motorcycle or my Zuma scooter. So we'll figure that out. But anyway, so there it is, SkyDio 2, the addition to some motorcycle rides. All right, cheers.